Have you ever noticed how some of your strangest habits feel oddly normal? Maybe you replay conversations in your head long after they're over. Maybe you suddenly imagine the worst possible outcome of a small mistake. Or maybe you sometimes feel strangely empty during moments that should make you happy. Most people call these things quirks, just personality. But what if some of those habits are actually signals from your brain? Not signs that something is wrong with you, but signs that your mind is under pressure, trying to cope in ways you might not even notice. Psychologists often say the brain whispers before it screams, and the behaviors we ignore today can sometimes be those whispers. So as you listen, pay attention, because there's a good chance at least one of these patterns will feel very familiar, and the one that surprises you the most might tell you something important about your own mind. Let's begin. Number 10. The mental time traveler. It's 2:17 in the morning. You're lying in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying a moment from years ago. Something you said at a party. A comment in a meeting. A joke that landed awkwardly. Everyone else moved on long ago. But your brain hasn't. It replays the scene again and again, adjusting every sentence, imagining what you should have said instead. Or it jumps forward into the future, rehearsing conversations that may never even happen. Psychologists call this rumination. The mind believes if it analyzes the moment long enough, it will finally solve it. But instead of solving anything, rumination traps you between the past and the future, while the present quietly slips away. Over time, it drains mental energy and feeds anxiety. Number 9. The disaster director. You send someone a message. An hour passes. No reply. A calm brain thinks they're probably busy. But another kind of brain begins producing a full disaster movie. They're upset with me. I must have said something wrong. Maybe they don't want to talk to me anymore. Within minutes, a tiny uncertainty grows into a complete catastrophe. This is known as catastrophic thinking. The brain believes it's preparing you for danger, but in reality, it often creates emotional stress about problems that don't even exist. Your mind becomes a movie director, and every story it tells ends badly. Number 8.
The rejection alarm.
Imagine someone gives you a small piece of criticism. Maybe you could improve this part. For many people, it's simple feedback. But for others, the moment echoes in their mind for hours, sometimes days. A delayed text message can feel like rejection. A distracted look can feel like disappointment. This pattern is often linked to rejection sensitivity. The brain reacts to social signals with unusual intensity. People who experience it often become careful observers of every tiny emotional shift around them. They're not weak. Their emotional alarm system is simply turned up much louder than most. Number 7. The hands that won't stop. You promise yourself you'll stop picking at that tiny bump on your skin. But 10 minutes later, your fingers are there again. Or maybe it's nail biting during stressful moments, hair pulling while you're thinking, scratching at your skin without even realizing it. These behaviors are known as body-focused repetitive behaviors. They often appear during anxiety, boredom, or tension. In those moments, the brain sends a signal: fix something, control something. Your hands obey automatically. During the act, there's often a strange moment of relief, like releasing pressure from inside the mind. But afterward, many people feel frustration, shame, or confusion about why it keeps happening. Number 6. Trapped by rituals. You check the door lock before leaving the house. Then, something in your mind whispers, check again. So you do. Then once more. Not because you want to, but because something inside says you must. For some people, routines slowly become mental rules. If I don't do this, something bad might happen. These patterns are often connected to obsessive-compulsive tendencies. The action quiets the anxiety briefly, but the calm never lasts very long. Soon the doubt returns, asking for the ritual again. Number 5. When joy slowly fades. Imagine hearing your favorite song, a song that once gave you chills, but now it just sounds normal. You taste your favorite meal and it feels flat. Friends invite you somewhere fun, but you feel strangely detached from the excitement. This experience is called anhedonia, the loss of pleasure. The brain's reward system becomes quieter. Many people describe it as watching their own life through a window. You're present, but the emotional warmth that once lived inside those moments has faded. Number 4. The emotional fog. Sometimes the mind goes one step further. Instead of just losing joy, emotions themselves begin to fade. Good news arrives, and your reaction feels muted. Someone close to you is upset, but your feelings feel strangely distant. This state is often called emotional blunting. From the outside, it can look like calmness or resilience. But inside, many people feel trapped in a quiet emotional fog, wishing they could feel things the way they once did. Number 3. The reassurance loop. You ask someone a simple question. Are you sure everything is okay? They say yes. For a moment, relief. Then the doubt slowly creeps back. What if they're just saying that to be polite? So you ask again. This pattern is known as reassurance seeking. The brain wants absolute certainty that everything is safe and stable, but human relationships rarely offer that kind of certainty. So the mind keeps asking the same question, hoping the answer will finally feel convincing. Number 2. Frozen by choices. You open a food delivery app to order dinner. Hundreds of options appear. Pizza, sushi, Thai food, burgers. You scroll through menus, compare reviews, check photos, read ingredients. 20 minutes pass, 30 minutes. And somehow choosing dinner begins to feel as complicated as solving a major life decision. This is decision paralysis. The brain becomes so focused on avoiding the wrong choice that making any choice feels risky. So instead of deciding, the mind stalls, sometimes for minutes, sometimes for much longer. Number 1. The missing break. Inside every brain are two quiet forces. One pushes us toward action, the other gently asks us to pause. But when that pause system weakens, impulses can take control. Sudden spending, explosive reactions, decisions made in seconds that take months or years to repair. This is often linked to impulse control difficulties. The action happens quickly. Reflection arrives afterward, and many people are left wondering why stopping felt impossible in the moment. Recognizing these patterns isn't about diagnosing yourself. It's about awareness. The mind develops habits to protect us from stress, uncertainty, and emotional pain. Sometimes those habits quietly grow into patterns that shape how we think, feel, and react to the world. But awareness changes something, because the moment you begin to notice the signals your mind is sending, you begin to care for it differently. The human mind is complex, fragile in some moments, incredibly resilient in others. And sometimes what it needs most isn't judgment or pressure. Sometimes it needs something softer, a little patience, a little understanding, a little kindness. Milk and honey for your soul.